Hi guys, it's Megan Rose from the Philippines. Welcome to another setup tutorial on how to put the embossed leaves and flowers for the wallet that we have made recently. So I have a separate video of showing you guys how to work on this wallet here with some leaves in it as a design. So for this project, we're gonna need the following materials. We're gonna need a 050 mm nylon monoline string. We need some acrylic rough beads with the green color and also other colors for the flowers. So these are acrylic rough beads that are 6 mm in size. We're also gonna need a pair of scissors to cut the string and a pin to poke the holes for whenever it gets clogged. So those are the materials we're gonna need for today's tutorial, okay? So this is how the wallet should look like for now, so that we can continue working on the embossed leaves and flowers. So we're gonna cut the string for about a little over a yard, and hoping that it will be enough for this whole process. So you're gonna pick your one end of the string and insert it in between two green leaves or two green beads, just like this. Pull your string and hold the first end on your right hand and the other on your left. And here's where we're gonna put 3 beads. So there should be 3 beads on top of that cluster of 6. Okay. So to do that, we're gonna put 1 bead on the right, which is green, and then we're going to salik up with 1 green bead. This is a term I use wherein you insert your right string going to the left just in 1 bead and your left string going to the right. We're gonna align both ends and we're gonna slide that 1 bead, making sure that the right and left string are of equal length. So this is how it should look like by now. As you can see, there are 2 beads there on top of the cluster of 6 that is green. So we're going to put 1 more bead on top of those 2. So take your right string and then put 1 green bead there, and then we're going to insert it upwards to this yellow bead here. And this is how it should look like for now. So there's gonna be 3 beads on top of the cluster of 6. Okay guys, so now we will continue on with our project. So now there's this embossed 3 beads on top of this leaf here. So now we're gonna position our string to a certain place to form the foundation for the flowers. As you can see, there's gonna be 3 flowers on these 3 spaces here. So we're gonna form the white foundation for it, which looks like this one also. So we're gonna do that next. So since the string is coming out from this bead here, we're gonna position the other string so that it will go to the opposite side of it. So take your string, your right string, and then insert it through this green bead here and the other one next to it. And then also insert it through the green bead on the side of the leaf here. It's just a matter of positioning your string through a certain position so that you can continue on. Okay, so now our string is coming out from this green bead here and the yellow one next to it. So here's where we're gonna make the first foundation for the flower. So take a white bead and put it on the right string, and then salik up with a white string with a white bead. Okay, So now that we have those two beads there, we're gonna put one white on top of it. So take your right string and put a white bead there, and then insert your string in between these two beads here. So insert it there. So now we have the first foundation for the first flower. So we're just gonna do this 2 more times for this cluster of 6 on top of it here, and the other one beside it. So we're just gonna position our string. So since our string is coming out from this bead here, this yellow one here, take your other string and just insert it to that yellow bead there. So now we can make a foundation for the next part of the second flower. Okay guys, so now that we were able to put our string to that in between those two yellow beads there, we can now make the second foundation for the flower. So put one white bead on the right and then salikop with a white bead. So now we have that. So now we're gonna put one white bead on top of those two. So put one white bead on the right string and then insert your string in between these two yellow beads here. So now we have formed the second foundation for the second flower. So now we're gonna put another foundation to this hole here. So take your first string, insert it to a certain position, take the other string and then insert it to this green bead here, and also to the next one next to it. So now as you can see, our bead is coming out from this yellow bead here and that green one there. So here's where we're gonna form another foundation for the third flower. So put one on the right string and then salikop with a white bead. So now we have formed that. So now we're gonna put a white bead on top of it. So instead of going this way, we're going that way, but insert it to in between this green and this yellow here. Okay, so inserting it upwards instead of going to the left. So now we have made the third foundation for the third flower. Okay. Hi guys, to continue on, so now we have those 3 foundation clusters on top of those yellow cluster of 6. It doesn't matter if it's in different positions, just as long as you have those 3 on top of it. So we're gonna take this string here and we're gonna position it to this leaf part here, the second leaf. So this is a little bit tricky. So just insert it here. If it doesn't go through, you can use your needle to poke the holes and then try again. So it's just a matter of positioning your string. So since your string is coming out from this here, take your other string and go the opposite way, making sure that your left and right string is in between two beads. Okay, so now that we have positioned our string in between these two green beads here, we can now put the embossed part. So take one bead and put it on the right, and then silikap with the green one. So now we have those two there. Take this string and we're gonna put one bead on top of those two. Put one bead there, and then insert it in between those two beads there. Okay, so now we have made those foundation or embossed parts. So the next thing that we're gonna do is to put the petals. Okay,